Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and this is another one of those final review videos that I'm making them nice and early for you, so we'll have time to use them. Of course, you can use these to prepare for the test on Tuesday. I'm not sure how far I'll get, but you can still use them. All right, so we know that if we multiply like bases, we can add our exponents, right? If you figure that out, or you can say I've got 5x's here being multiplied and 2x's there, I must have 7x's being multiplied. And of course, we have to multiply the 20 by the 3 and get 60, right? When we're dividing, it's very similar. Now, some of you will figure out quickly what you can do. I like to think about it as a fraction. I like to think about it as 20x to the fifth and over 5x squared. Now, of course, I know 20 divided by 5 is 4, right? Well, when I have x to the fifth over x squared, that's like this. And of course, x divided by x cancels out to 1. These two cancel out. So do these two. Well, what's left? 1, 2, 3 x's being multiplied. So I have an x cubed left. So it's 4x cubed. Now you have to be careful, because if I have a situation like this, let's say I have 6x squared divided by, let's say here, 12x to the eighth, okay? 6 divided by 2 is not 2, of course. It's 1/2. And now I've got 2x's in my numerator, right? 2x's being multiplied. I've got 8x's in my denominator. I really like the canceling out way. To me, it makes more sense. Like, I understand why. And there's some of you that do that. I think Nick Green likes it this way. He knows that these 2x's are going to cancel 2 of those out. Ooh, I forgot my half there, sorry. These 2x's will cancel with 2 of those, leaving me 1 over 2x to the sixth. But then there's some of you that rather do it this way. You'd rather say, well, hey, Mr. Lawrence, back here on this problem, you had 5 and 2, and it came up 3. It must be subtraction. 5 minus 2 is 3. And that is true. But when doing it in a problem like this one, where you have x squared divided by x to the eighth, you can't say it's x to the sixth because it's 2 minus 8. It's not 8 minus 2. They're not the same. It's not commutative. And so this would be x to the negative sixth, and then taking your learning from a previous section, a negative exponent means to use the reciprocal, and that forces the x to the sixth into the denominator. Okay, so that's totally an acceptable way to do it. Nothing wrong with it. Just make sure you don't go 8 minus 2 when it's really 2 minus 8. So I'm going to run through a couple examples here, and then I've got a few problems for you to try. So when I have a problem like this, it looks big and scary and intimidating, and it's not. We're going to do it as 4 mini problems. We're going to take care of this part, and we're going to take care of this part, and then we'll take care of our y's, and then we'll take care of our z's, okay? And I'll do this one the way I like to do it, and then I'll do problem B the way some of my students like to do it. And again, I don't mind, because they're both reasonable, sound algebraic methods of doing it. So it's totally okay for you to do it your own way. All right, so I'm looking for the GCF of 24 and 30. I think it's 6. So if I divide, I'm going to get 4/5, right? Now I've got x to the sixth over x to the fourth. There's going to be 6 x's in the numerator, 4 in the denominator. They're going to cancel. The leftovers are going to be in the numerator. It's going to be an x squared. Yeah, there's going to be x times x left in the numerator. With the y's, I'm going to have a y in the numerator. I'm going to have a y to the seventh in the denominator, which means there are 7 y's being multiplied down there. Okay? The 1 in the numerator will cancel. All the leftovers will be in the denominator. How many are there? There's 6 of them. But the answer isn't 6. It's y to the sixth, because it's y times y times y times y times y times y left. All right, finally, my z's. There's going to be 10 in the numerator, 9 in the denominator. They're going to cancel out, leaving z to the first, and it will be left over in the numerator. And there is my answer. Okay. Now, to do B, I'm going to do it the way a lot of you like to. And I still have to do the same thing. I'm going to take care of the pieces. You know, I'm going to do the coefficients first, and then I'll do my x's, and then I'll do the y's. Okay, there are no z's in this problem, so I don't have to worry about it. But again, the 16/12 is just simplifying. Don't put 4, because that doesn't say 16 minus 12. That's 16 divided by 12. That's 4/3. Okay? Now, here with the x's, I have x to the 10th divided by x to the 5th, which means subtract the exponent, so give me x to the 5th. It's a positive, so I'll keep it in the numerator. But when I have the y's, I have y to the 5th divided by y to the 12th, and that'll be y to the negative 7th. But the negative exponent tells me I have to use the reciprocal, and so the y to the 7th is actually in the denominator. It does not matter to me which way you want to do it. I'm incredibly fast doing it my way, but that's because I'm well practiced at it, okay? If you're getting the right answer your way and it's not taking 3 days to do it, then gosh darn it, do it your way. Okay, this one here. There's a lot of steps to it, but again, it's not difficult. Just a lot of baby steps. I'm going to do the coefficients just like I did in the other two. Gonna take care of the x's just like I did. Gonna take care of the y's. Ooh, I see something there. Do you see it? I see it. All right, then I got to take care of my z's. Then I've got 2 more baby steps. I'm going to take care of this negative. And then finally, and this is just how Mr. Lawrence thinks about it. You don't have to do it this way. Then I'm going to take care of that too. And I'm going to do it in that order. Okay, not because I like those colors, but because I think this is the best way to do it. So first off, I'm not going to do anything with that negative 2 because I'm going to take care of everything inside. So, got a fraction going, 30/40, that's the same as 3/4. X to the negative 3rd and an x. Well, now this is going to move to the denominator. And so I'm going to have an x times x cubed in the denominator. Well, that'll be an x to the 4th. These are going to cancel out. That's what I was talking about. There's not going to be any y's in the answer. Now these guys are going to flip positions. The z to the negative 9th is going to need to go to the denominator. Why? Because of the negative exponent. But the z to the negative 10th is going to move to the numerator. Why? Because of the negative exponent. I need the reciprocal. And then when they cancel out, I'm going to have a z to the 1st left in the numerator. Okay, so now that's been simplified. Now I'm going to take care of this negative. Negative exponent means to use the reciprocal. So I'm going to have 4x to the 4th over 3z. And that'll be raised to the 2nd power. Okay, finally, I have to square everything. 4 squared is 16. Why do I have to square everything? Because of this too. X to the 4th times x to the 4th is x to the 8th. 3 times 3 is 9, and z times z is z squared. Okay, there you go. All right. I've got 3 problems for you to try here. You go ahead and try and pause the video, and I will provide answers in just a moment. Okay, here come my answers. So let me see here. I've got 48 divided by 16. That's going to be 3. But I've got x to the 6th divided by x to the 9th. That's going to be an x to the 3rd, but it'll be in the denominator. So my answer is 3 over x cubed. Okay, if you don't know how I got that, please email me. All right, for this green one, again, if you haven't tried it on your own, please do so. All right, looks like I'm going to divide them both by 4, which is going to give me 6/7. I think I'm going to have an x to the 5th in the numerator. I'm going to have a y to the 4th in the numerator, and a z to the 11th in the denominator. And there we go. All right, 3. Lots going on here. I'll do it all in my head. You make sure you get the answer I got. Okay, let me see. I'm going to get 3 halves. It's going to flip. It's going to be 4/9. X to the 7th, going to move up. X to the 14th. Y's are gone. Z to the 11th, moving down, Z to the 22nd, and there is your answer. All right, if you need to see those more in detail, please email me. Hey, by the way, there's been a couple conscientious students, like Nadia and Dominic Ulrich recently asking for substitution problems because they know they didn't learn it in the past. You might want to do that. It's going to be on the air test. It's going to be on your final exam. You want to be able to do those kind of problems. All right, you got any questions? Please email me. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.